How's everyone doing? Kevin here, on for the Friday Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. Hope everyone out there is doing well. Just came on to talk to you guys to answer any of your questions about snowboarding, and also to kind of give you guys an update on my plans for the next few weeks or the next month in snowboarding. So before I get started, big shout out to everyone who's already on here. If you haven't yet, subscribe here to Snowboard Pro Camp. Hit the bell to get notified every time I go live. If you're not already a member, there's a join button where you can become a member of the channel. For $5 a month, you can support the channel and then also get all kinds of great perks. So at the end of this live chat, I'm gonna go and do an exclusive members only live chat as well, where we kind of get into some more spicy topics. But yeah, stoked to be on here with you guys talking. I hope you guys are still able to snowboard. I know the places at the moment to actually go snowboarding is a bit limited, but there's still some places out there. Tomorrow, I'm actually headed to Mount Hood, Oregon to spend about a month snowboarding down there. So spring snowboarding at Timberline Resort at Mount Hood, one of my favorite places to do it. I think one of the best places to be for May. I know there's some other places too that are still open. If you guys have any plans, it'd be great to hear from you guys. But yeah, so to be on here, talk to you guys. Let's get into it by giving a few shout outs to some of the people already on here. We got Photo Bricks dropping a bunch of tacos into the live chat. Thanks, man. Yeah, shout out Photo Bricks. We got Justin Visey on here. What's up, Justin? I know Justin was just snowboarding last week or a week or two ago at Mammoth. What's up, Justin? We got Mex Man says, hi Lego dude, love the picture. We got, who else is on here? Day Job Shredder, what's up, dude? We got Luke Hayes in the chat. And yeah, if you guys notice that some of the people in the chats, they might have a little like emoji beside their name. Those are one of the perks of becoming a member. You get like an emoji. And yeah, that members only live chat right after. We got Carrie Pierce as well, another one of the members. Thanks, Carrie, for hopping on. Awesome. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely hit me up. We got Bad Riders, just landed in New South Wales. Awesome, man. What are you doing in New South Wales? Yeah, Luke Hayes, Day Job Shredder. Where are the mods? Oh yeah, we don't have any mods. Is Justin Visey a mod? Bad Riders, I think, is a mod. Sweet. I thought I would start off just by giving you guys like a quick update of yeah, what's happening with Snowboard Pro Camp, the channel, the plans going forward. So tomorrow I'm heading down to Oregon. So there's an amazing place, Timberline Resort. It's on Mount Hood in Oregon, about an hour east of Portland, and they have like they have a spring pass there. So for like, I think it's like $250 American or $220 American, you can get like a spring pass and ride there like for the spring. So heading there tomorrow, and the plan is to I mean, basically kind of like check out what's going on down there. They have like a great spring park, but also to get some videos rolling again on the channel. And if you guys have any video requests, definitely let me know. But I definitely want to, one of the goals is to make like live teaching a bit more of a regular occurrence on the channel. So while I'm down there, if I run into anybody and they want to like learn something, learn a trick, learn how to, you know, turn better, anything like that, and you want to be in a video, definitely hit me up, because that's a type of content that I want to start adding into the channel more often. So yeah, stoked to be down there. The place I'm gonna be staying is a town called Hood River, which is about 45 minutes drive from Mount Hood, and it's like a really cool small town. And so actually rented like a small trailer over in Hood River. So gonna be staying in the trailer for a month and just snowboarding as much as possible. Picked up the monthly, the spring pass. And then after that, it kind of like turns into summer mode in that area, and Mount Hood basically becomes like the mecca for summer snowboarding. So I'm also collaborating with the High Cascade Snowboard Camp and collaborating with them on session 1 and 2 for summer, like a summer snowboard camp. So if you want to come and snowboard with me, there's links below in the description where you can sign up for camp. There's a whole list of perks if you use the promo code SBC 2023, and then you can come snowboard with me, hang out. There's a whole bunch of different perks. And I think some of the portions of the camp are already sold out, but I'm pretty sure like the daily camp is still available, where you can just come snowboard for the day. Say if you're coming from Portland or from the area and you just want to attend the camp like on the day of, you can do that as well. So check that out in the description. I've kind of like, we may be able to open up something else, but I need to see what's on the table for that. And yeah, just stoked to be on here. Let's see if there's any questions. We got Bad Riders with what is this green? Oh, I think Bad Riders maybe gets a special green box with his members chat. Member for 3 months. Awesome. Thanks, Bad Rider. Says got a couple of topics for the members stream. Hope for a podcast and some new shenanigans with Chuck and the crew. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You and Chuck went live. Yeah. Check some of that out. That looked like a lot of fun. I need to get onto that, doing like the going live with somebody else, kind of like podcast style. Yeah, that's super fun. Yeah, let's roll out some of the topics, Bad Riders. What are some of the topics we can discuss? We can maybe like discuss them partly on this chat and then also over in the members area. Daniel Torres says live teaching is a great idea. Yeah, I mean, it's super fun. I feel like it's really fun video content to like teach somebody in real time, because you can see like all the problems that certain people run into, because everyone kind of learns a little bit differently. So one person who's trying to do an ollie may have a slightly different problem than somebody else learning to do an ollie. So by teaching like people in real time, you kind of see those issues pop up and then like how to fix them. So it's a super fun way to do the videos. Justin says, definitely a video on riding slush, bro. I saw a lot of bails and improper technique in Mammoth. Yeah, a slush video would be super fun. I think we'll probably have some good slushy days at Mount Hood. Yeah, like what are some tips for riding in slush? I feel like one is you definitely want to be like a little bit onto the back foot a little bit more. I think because like the slush can slow you down at times and you go like tumbling forward. Also the way that you center yourself on your board, you almost have to be like a little bit more like just straight over top of your board, because the slush, as soon as you start getting your edge in too much, like your edge just like digs in and kind of sinks into the snow, and that can like suck you in and make you fall over. So using your edges a little bit less, kind of more like sweeping turns that keep you like right on top of that slush, and yeah, avoid digging the edge in. We got Chuck Van on here. What's up, Chuck? Thanks for hopping on, man. We got Rodri DeAnta saying, I would like to know how to go ski towns to work as part-time if possible. I'm Spanish. Yeah, I think like if you want to get a job in a ski town, the best thing is to find out where they're holding their like ski resorts always do job fairs. So for example, with Whistler, they'll do one job fair like in Whistler for like the locals, and then they'll do like a job fair in Australia, job fair in maybe New Zealand, maybe one in England or over in Europe. So they have these like job fairs all over the world. And so if you can find out where there's a job fair for the resort that you're working at and like kind of sign up for that or attend it, I'm sure too, like a lot of them are doing like online job fairs too. So going onto like a resort's website, finding their like employee section and either like applying like online or finding out like where a job fair is, that's like a really good way to do it. Because once you have a job like with the resort, then they can set you up with like staff housing and all kinds of stuff like that. It is a bit different though, like depending on which resort you're going to. Like some places especially if you don't want to work for the resort. So if you don't want to work for the resort, the best thing to do is kind of like show up out of town in the off season. So a few months before the ski season starts, so that you can find housing, find a job, all those things. Even though your job may not actually start until the snow comes, you kind of need to be there early, or else what's going to happen is if you get there too late, then you're not going to find accommodation. So getting there early really helps. I think we've got a new member. We got Day Job Shredder. Welcome to Team SPC. Sick, man. Thank you so much for becoming a member. That's awesome. So I think we have 21 members now. So just started the members area like not too long ago and already got 21 signed up. So amazing way to support the channel, keep the videos rolling, and yeah, hopefully give you guys some really good value too. So thanks so much for hopping on, Day Job Shredder. And he's got access to the tacos now. Nice, dude. Thanks for dropping those tacos in the chat. Roberto says, hey, are you excited to try out the Mega Death from Capita this year? Oh, that sounds like a sick board. The Mega Death. Nice. So what is that? The Black Snowboard of Death, but Mega version? That's really cool. I like how Capita's doing that with like Super DOA, Mega Mercury, now the Mega Death. I think the Mega Death, that's probably like the best name in snowboarding that's ever been. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll try to jump on some of those boards. That's a really cool name. If you guys have any like cool tech too, like that you've seen pop up, let us know about it in the chat, because it's always fun to keep dibs on all the new stuff that's coming out. One video idea I had that I was gonna like run by you guys is I'm thinking next season, because every year I do like a gear list. So I'm thinking like, because I mean times are a little bit tight, thinking of doing like a season of only riding like the cheapest snowboard gear that I can find. So like, for example, getting a park board that is like the least expensive board you can buy, getting like a POW board that's the least expensive, jacket, outerwear, goggles, just going across the board and just trying to do everything on a budget. So, and just really trying to test out too, like how does the stuff that you can buy on a budget really compare to like the high end stuff? Because, you know, you could probably get a whole gear setup for the price of like one expensive, like really expensive, like snowboard jacket, for example. Because some jackets are getting so expensive, like $1,000, $1,200, and you can pretty much buy like a whole setup for that price. I just had my friend actually message me on WhatsApp. Said he's so I'm meeting a friend tomorrow at the Vancouver airport. He's coming with me for a week down to Mount Hood, and he says he's just packing his bags. So I'm getting stoked on leaving tomorrow for Mount Hood. All right, let's see what else is in the chat. Mex Man says, are you coming back to Europe? Europe is like always on the table for sure. Love, like the most amount of time I've spent in Europe is definitely like in the summer and fall. For those times of riding, because you guys have some of the best parks, like at Hintertux, at down in Zermatt, in yeah, where else? Just Stubai Glacier. So many good like terrain parks in like the late summer and early fall. But we'd love to get back to Europe too, like in the winter. I know you guys. I mean, the Alps just have the biggest, the best mountains, just incredible views. Such long runs, cheap lift tickets, so many like perks to riding in Europe. But yeah, we'll definitely be back at some point. We'll let you know when that's going to happen. Yeah, Day Job Shredder, welcome to Team SPC. That's awesome, man. Yeah, Rodri says, so thankful, buddy. Congrats and greetings from Spain. Awesome. What's up? Yeah, what's up all the way from Spain? Thanks for watching. Yeah, definitely make it happen. I mean, the first time I tried to get a job in a resort town was in Whistler, and I had spent I had done 2 years of teaching snowboarding back like near Toronto, where I'm from, in like Eastern Canada. And man, I came into the job interview with like so much confidence and thought I was a shoo-in, and I didn't get the job the first go, and I was like just totally crushed. I was like, my dreams were shattered. So I went back to Ontario and then spent another winter just riding the East Coast or the Ice Coast, and then actually somebody that worked at the resort ended up getting me a job later that spring in Whistler. So that's kind of how I got my in. So I mean, yeah, the first time trying to get a job in a resort town, it can be difficult, but if you stick with it, I mean, my regret is I should have just stayed there and not left. But yeah, if you can like get your first job there, start to make connections, working in a resort town is like one of the best things. It's amazing. Day Job Shredder says, greetings from the Midwest. No snow here, but I still shred the street on my summer board. Awesome, man. That's so sick that you picked up a summer board. Yeah, I had a really good time riding the summer board. Was it? I guess it was 2 summers ago now. Yeah, super fun to keep the snowboard progression going. Roberto says, I'm trying to get my hands on the Now Drive or Mercury from Jones. What you think is the best? I mean, those are, yeah, binding wise, these are both super good. I haven't tried the Jones Mercury. Now, the Now Drives, awesome bindings, like good kind of like all mountain free ride binding, a little bit stiffer, super comfy. Yeah, straps on the drives, and yeah, I really like the Now Drives. I haven't tried the Mercuries yet from Jones. Another super chat, or the first super chat actually from Bad Riders. Thanks for the support, man. Says, so worst brands in snowboarding and your worst day. Awesome, man. Yeah, those are some spicy topics. Worst brands. Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, remember, if you guys want to get into the weeds, hit that join button, because right after this we'll do a members only chat and talk about, in my opinion, what are the worst brands. Get some feedback from you guys too. Worst day, yeah. What's like been like a worst day in snowboarding? I mean, my worst days, I guess, when I look back, are always days where, I guess, when somebody gets hurt, like that's always the worst day. Like myself or like a friend. Like a few years ago in Austria, TJ had a fall on the rail and kind of like hurt his shoulder. So that was definitely one of the worst days. Yeah, what else? I feel like days where, or maybe like the worst days is when you have that like anticipation of like you're going up the mountain and like it's snowing and everything looks awesome, and then you get up, say, to the top, and the snow is like really heavy or just like cement or some kind of like change in the weather that kind of ruins the day. Those are always like crappy days too. Yeah, what else is like a worst day? I mean, it's hard to have like a bad day on the mountain. I find like some days where I feel like when maybe like a day where it's not like a park day and it's also not a POW day, and you're trying to like make the day work and nothing really comes together, those days can be a bit of a bummer too. Like you're riding around, you're running into like mogul fields, the snow's like kind of just nasty. Like those can be like the bad days too. But yeah, we'll get deeper into that in the members only chat. But yeah, worst brands. Like what's a bad brand? Oh man, I don't like. Let's not talk about that in this public realm. We'll talk about it in behind closed doors. Pikesel says, I love my K2 Alchemist. How do you compare it to your K2? Haven't ridden the Alchemist, but my impression is that, so I think the board that's close to that is the Excavator. But the reason I went with the Excavator, I think the Excavator has more of a taper. So I think the nose is wider and the tail is smaller. So better float and powder. I think that's like the main difference. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe that between the Alchemist and the Excavator has a bigger taper. So that's really why I went for it, because I wanted a board that floated really well in powder, and the excavator like totally does, floats like amazingly. Yeah, let me know what you think. Pixel Pusher. Daniel says, I would love if you could review the clue binding. Not sure if you reviewed it already. Yeah, I would be stoked to check out the clue bindings. Yeah, that'd be really fun. I know like Jonathan Buckhouse, he's been riding clues for a year or two now, and man, he looks like he's having a blast on them. So it'd be super fun to check those out. We got Bad Riders dropping some emojis in the chat. Thank you, man. Mackenzie Stock says, just bought a Burton Custom Flying V. What's your opinion? So I wrote that board like 7 or 8 years ago. I think I've owned it twice. So my opinion of the Custom Flying V is it definitely has like a bit of a looser feeling, and a board that's like pretty easy to kind of like get into presses or butters. But you're kind of like, yeah, it's like, I think it's like a really good sort of like intermediate style board because of the Flying V style and the fact that you have the camber under your feet, rocker in between, and then rocker towards the tips, kind of giving it that Flying V profile. Is when you're going to make turns, the turns are like pretty loose, and you don't feel like you're gonna catch your edge like at all. Sometimes when you have like a really cambered dominant board towards the tail, you sometimes feel a bit of a catch. But with the Flying V, because the board lifts up so much towards the tips, you definitely have like a loose ride. It doesn't feel like you're gonna catch. Makes it really easy for butters. But I think you do sacrifice a little bit of stability when riding at high speeds, and maybe for like, if you're doing like bigger things in the terrain park, it feels a little bit loose. So kind of like some pros and cons with the Custom Flying V. So I think that if like you're more intermediate style rider, then it's like a great board. But there is the potential that you can like kind of grow out of it and maybe want to go towards like something that's a bit more full camber for like your next board. But yeah, it's kind of like a really good intermediate, beginner to intermediate style board. Justin Visey, Annex versus Excavator comparison. K2 is softer than the Annex. Definitely more of a turner since it has a smaller side cut. It's also lighter board in comparison to the Annex. Oh, Justin Visey, thanks for the feedback, man. Yeah, I was wondering about that. So it's the Union Annex, or sorry, not Union, Arbor Annex. And that's good to know that the Arbor is a little bit heavier, because that's kind of like the way I experienced the Arbor board that I had a few years ago. I thought it was like a little bit heavy. So I definitely prefer the lighter boards, but the Annex is stiffer as well. So maybe the Annex could be better for like carving as well, because it's like stiffer, longer side cut radius. Yeah, thanks for the feedback, man. Luke Hayes says, shout out to the DWC members that are meeting up this weekend for a podcast. Awesome. Are you guys doing a podcast in Newcastle, Australia? Is that what's going on? Are you guys all getting together in one spot to do a podcast? That's pretty sick. Yeah, Justin's saying the Annex loves to bomb the fall line, though, since it has a large side cut radius. Sick. So like for speed, you're saying for lapping, yeah, that sounds like the board to do it. Josh just dropping in saying it's expensive being a ski bum. It can be, for sure. Yeah, we got to get into some budget ski gear. I think or budget snowboard gear. I feel like that's where things are going. Luke says, what do you have to do to get your snowboard certificate for teaching? I guess it's a little bit different depending on the country you're in, but I think for like Australia and New Zealand, I think it's a little bit, your certification is a little bit harder than it is in North America. But yeah, I think it's just, you have to sign up for a course. Here in North America, it's either for the first course, I don't know if it's 3 days or 4 days. When I did it, it was a 3-day course. And usually like at resorts, they'll have like things you can sign up to as well to kind of like practice for the course. You don't have to practice for it, but I think it definitely helps. But yeah, it's usually a 3 or 4 day course, and there's like different components. When I did it, there was like a riding component and then a teaching component, and you had to pass both parts. But I think it's different for where you are, Luke. I think down in Australia that you have some different rules, but yeah, I would just like look up, snowboard courses and see how you can sign up and see if there's any like prep, like a prep course or anything like that you can do. But in terms of like the level one, at least here in North America, it's fairly easy. You're expected to be able to ride at like an intermediate level because basically you need to be able to demonstrate up to like sort of intermediate style turns. And when you're at level 1, 2, like you're mostly just teaching beginners. So, beginners or maybe people who are just like learning to do green or blue runs. That's kind of like the limit of what you're going to teach with your level 1, at least to start. So it's not like any crazy technical riding or, park stuff or having to do wild like cliff drops or anything like that. It's kind of just more about showing proper technique, getting down some beginner and like green and blue runs, just having like decent communication skills so that you can teach someone how to skate or how to get onto a chairlift, things like that. So yeah, look into it if you're interested, man. All right, we got. Oh, M. Jor says you can still go to Lake Louise and Sunshine Village for spring boarding. Yeah, I was seeing that one of those two places has like the Holy Bowly thing going on, so that's pretty cool. Nathan Daniel just dropped in with a super chat. Thanks for the support, Nathan, and a peach emoji. Dude, appreciate it, man. Orlando Dominguez says, what is the definition of full camber? So basically, if you were to imagine like a snowboard lying flat on the ground, so camber is basically like the piece of wood lying flat is kind of bent in a way that the center of the piece of wood is coming like will be like up off of the ground by like say a half an inch, and then as the board goes out, it kind of bends back down so that the contact points or like the tips of the board are like touching. So it's basically the way the piece of wood or like the board is bent so that it rises higher in the center. And that what basically that does is it gives the board some like push back on you. So if you're going around a turn and you're like kind of putting some force into the board, it's kind of like bending back towards you and giving you some push back. So it's good for like if you want to like do an ollie, if you want to generate some like energy out of the board like through a turn, for like landing a drop, having that kind of like stability and something to like hold you up. So that's basically what full camber is, when basically you have the board is like that all the way to like the contact points or as far as it'll go. Most boards now, they have kind of like a mix of camber and rocker, and the board will be like, it'll be positive camber, but then it will end kind of early and then go into like a flat and then reverse camber. And so that's a bit more mellow and like less catchy. So totally full camber is like more, really advanced base profile, and most like high level pro riders will ride full camber just because they want the most stability out of the board, the most like contact, the most of their edge in contact with the snow, and the most like pop and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of like the difference. And then the opposite is reversed camber, where the center of the board will be touching the ground, and then as the board goes out towards the tips, it starts to like rise up like immediately. and that's like the reverse. Danny says, big snow. Oh, the indoor spot in New Jersey at the America Dream Mall just hosted Burton Mystery Season series. Fun little park there. Awesome. Yeah, that'd be fun. Super fun to go to the big snow. Danny says they are also hosting freestyle camps with guest coaches now. Tomorrow, Chris Rogers is doing one. Is that something you might ever see yourself doing? Consider hosting, maybe over the summer. Yeah, that would be amazing to be included in something like that. Yeah, I would love to get down there, and yeah, it's always fun to continue snowboarding through like the summer months, and yeah, places that are open like indoors are the perfect place to do it, especially like on the East Coast. If you're in that area, just to pop in and get some snowboard laps. Awesome way to keep the progression going through the summer. Would love to do that. Daydrop Shredder says, I've been seeing ads for ski and snowboard instructing courses. How can you weed out the legit courses? I mean, I think there's maybe like two different things. There's like the actual courses. So like for any, if you want to be an instructor, I think most places in the world, you actually have to just do the course that is that gives you the certification that the mountain requires. So here in Canada, the accreditation or the course is called CASI, Canadian Association of Snowboard Instructors. So like that's the only kind of like certification that resorts will take. And then outside of that, you also have kind of companies that will run programs that, let's say they're like a 3-month program where you're snowboarding with a coach every day, getting you ready for the actual course. So there's like the program is like separate, and it's just like kind of like training, running you through like teaching you the mechanics of how to ride and how to teach and everything like that. So, you know, that's, I guess, the easiest way to figure out what is like the legit course and what is just like a prep course, is to like look and see like just find out what is the accreditation in your country, the one that you need, and just go like directly to their website. It doesn't mean that the other courses are bad, but the other courses aren't going to actually give you the certification. They're just going to like get you ready for it, basically. Roberto says, are you aware Anon has the new goggles M5? Looks sick. I didn't know about the M5s, so we'll have to look that up. That's pretty cool. Carlin, are you coming to Australia? If yes, I would like to know if you will be able to give private lessons. Awesome. I don't like officially do private lessons, but if you wanted to come out, be in a video and just kind of like get some tips, like I'd be down for that, more just kind of like more casual. But I don't actually do like paid private lessons, but maybe something casual at some point. But yeah, I'll let you know if I'm going to make it out to Australia. What's your home resort, Carlin? What is that thing? Bad Riders wants me to come to Falls Creek. Adam, what's the best month to go to Falls Creek? Let me know, man. Yeah, so Orlando is saying, yeah, pure pop is kind of like that, is Burton's version of like a camber that kind of mellows out before the contact points. It's not like a full camber. Oh, Astro Bun says, moving to Oregon next month. Can't wait to ride Mount Hood. Awesome. Yeah, it's super fun. I'll see you out there. Steve, what do you think of the Capita DOA? Yeah, DOA, super good board. I think it's like a good, for me, the DOA is either a board that it's kind of like it's probably like for an advanced rider, it's kind of a better board. So if you're like an advanced snowboarder, you want a board that's like got some camber, is a bit stiff, good for ollies, good for, just doing turns around the resort, but also that you can take into the terrain park. It's kind of like the good board for that. And if you're going into the terrain park too with like a bit more of a like at an advanced level, because it's stiffer and because it has more camber, it does lean to be a bit more advanced. So yeah, that's kind of where the DOA shines. If you're more of a beginner intermediate rider, I think I would recommend a board that's a bit softer and a board that has a bit more, just a bit softer of a board. And that also has a little bit less tech that you may not use if you're not at that advanced level. So maybe something like the Capita Pathfinder or the Ultra Fear. So boards that are a bit more mellow. Orlando says, I'm in a dilemma. I don't know if I should go for a 150 board or a 155. I'm 190 pounds, 5 foot 4 inches. I ride park and all mountain, but no POW yet. What's your opinion? Yeah, I think if you're 190 pounds, I would go for the 155. I think the 150 is a little bit small for your weight. Also, if you're a 10 and a half boot, I would also get a wide board too. I'd go 155 wide, just because you're kind of right on that line where you might start getting heel and toe drag, especially on the 150 if it's a 155 regular width and a 10 and a half size snowboard boot. You're probably going to get some drag. So I'd go for the 155 wide. M. George says, have you ridden KNWN snowboards? I haven't ridden those boards. I haven't really even heard of that. Day Job Shredder says, just got the DOA beginning of last season. Really fun board. Awesome. That's awesome, man. Oh, sweet. Day Job Shredder says, if you want a light board with the goal of park, I would recommend it. My last board was heavier than the DOA is light as a feather in comparison. Awesome. That's like, I feel like Capita, one thing that they actually really do focus on is making light snowboards. So I think that's important. I did have the chance to check out like where the Capita snowboards were made, the Capita mothership in Austria. And I hung out with the guys that kind of run the factory a little bit, and a few times I heard them mention like the weight of the snowboards and kind of comparing them to other boards, and I would even see them kind of like pick up snowboards to like check out the weight. So I think that is something that's really on their mind. So definitely I think Capita is, compared to some board brands, on the lighter side. Bad Rider saying, Kev rode the Super DOA a few seasons ago. I did, yeah. Yeah, Super DOA, super light board, really fun. I might go back to that board. Yeah, that was a really fun board. Although it is expensive. If I'm gonna do the budget gearless, I can't do the DOA. August, September is the best time. Okay, good to know. Roberto says, I'm 5'11", 220 pounds. Is 161 too big for me? No, not at all. 161 is like probably right, a perfect size for you, man. So I'm like 200 pounds and I'm riding a 162 POW board and a 159 park board. So if you're 220, then a 161 is like a good size, depending on what you're doing. If you're riding like a POW board, you can even go bigger. Awesome. 13 likes. Let's see if we can get the likes up a little bit, guys. Big shout out to everyone that has done a super chat, and also to all the members and the new member. We got Day Job Shredder hopped on as a new member. Quick reminder, if you guys haven't yet, subscribe here to Snowboard Pro Camp. Hit the bell to get notified every time I go live. And if you guys aren't a member yet and you want to join, hit that join button. If you don't see a join button, it may be because you're on a phone that's not compatible and you may have to go on your desktop. But we're going to hop onto a members only live section in a few minutes. And awesome way to support the channel. You get a bunch of cool perks. And yeah, just stoked to be on here with you guys. A quick reminder too, if you guys want to come and ride with me this summer, I am collaborating with the High Cascade Snowboard Camp. And if you use the promo code SPC 2023, it unlocks like a whole list of perks. So one-on-one coaching on request. I'm going to be doing on-hill clinics, dinner, an exclusive dinner with me. I'm going to bring some merch that's exclusive for camp. We're doing a pre-camp meetup, like online meetup to talk about like what to expect from camp, what to bring, all kinds of stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like the space is limited. There's like a waiting list, but there's also some space left in their like daily camps where you just like come and ride for the day. So there's still that option left. I don't know if there's any overnight options left. That's all sold out. But there's a waiting list, and there's also like the day camp option too. Roberto says, man, the clothing, jackets, and bibs are getting very expensive. Yeah, they are. That's why I'm thinking next season, gonna go on the budget hunt and like really try to get the snowboard gear as cheap as possible. Justin Visey says, wish I could make it to camp, but hope everyone else can make it. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, every time we go to camp at High Cascade up at Timberline, it's like there's always like so many cool people out there, awesome campers, always have such a good time. My favorite place to be in the summer. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Justin, maybe you can like make it out for like a day or like a weekend or something. I'll probably be out there like most of the summer. So if you can make it out for a weekend, just let me know, man. All right. Yeah, and yeah, I hope you guys get the chance to ride some spring riding too. I know that yeah, it's like it's hard. It's hard when like you've ridden you get your snowboard fix in the summer, and then once the spring and summer comes along, you start to miss snowboarding. So it's always a good way to break it up by getting in some spring and summer riding. Justin Visey saying that Michelle would kill me. Yeah, man. I mean, oh, you got the wedding planning going on. Awesome. Yeah, you got to balance it out with you can't be snowboarding all the time. It's good to take a break, and then, I mean, especially when you got the wedding coming up, spend your weekends in the summer kind of doing the wedding prep. And then once it's, dude, what are you doing for a honeymoon? Do you have like, are you going to go for a summer destination, or I guess, I mean, it would be a bit cheeky maybe to do a winter honeymoon up into the mountains somewhere. I guess it depends on how much Michelle is into the mountains and skiing and snowboarding. But I mean, the summer, the sunny, like tropical destination honeymoon is pretty sweet too. Oh, we got Robert Fowler jumped into the chat right at the last minute. Kazu MC says, interested in High Cascade. Is it members only park? Yeah, so at Timberline, they have like a public park until like mid-June, and then when all the camps start up, like High Cascade and the rest, then the park turns into like there's like a special park. It's like it's actually like a special lift ticket. It's a little bit more money, and I don't think they sell like a pass or like a summer rate. You actually pay like I think it's like $140 for the day. So yeah, it's like kind of like a special park for the camps and for people that pay for that special daily rate. So if you do sign up with High Cascade, then you do get access to that special park. But yeah, it's not just like a park that any public person can just wander into. you have to, there's like gates and everything like that to get in. Justin Vizey, bachelor party in Park City though. I'll keep you posted. Oh, sweet. All right. That'll be super fun. All right, man. Keep me posted. Oh, Day Job Shredder says same. Getting married in June. Honeymoon road trip through Colorado. Awesome. Congrats on Day Job Shredder. Got the wedding coming up in June. That's super exciting. Road trip through Colorado in June will be incredible too. That's awesome, man. We got Chuck Van hopping on again. Justin Vizey, we are going to hit Greece in May 2024. Oh, Greece. That's like awesome. That's like that'll be an awesome trip, man. Bad Rider is saying, I think Camp 2024 might be the go for me. All right, sounds good. I think, yeah, this next camp will definitely get the word out to all the SPC people earlier. And yeah, it'd be great to see you out at camp in 2024, man. That's awesome. Kasu MC says, I've seen some footage of that, but looks mostly pro only. No, so there's like different sections, and they definitely have like a big like area for like small jumps, like small features, like easy boxes, easy tubes, medium jumps, medium features. So there is like a mix. There is like one area that's definitely like the pro park with like XL features and crazy jumps and everything. But they also have like a whole section that is more geared towards campers. Yeah, small jumps, medium jumps, small boxes and features like that. So it's definitely a good like progression area, and everyone is kind of like on the same page up there too. Like if when you're in camp, most of the campers are learning like the basics around park, or just like there's also the cool thing about Mount Hood too is like there's space on the runs to just like actually do like cruiser laps like on like runs. So yeah, there's runs out there. There's yeah, a good range of beginner to intermediate park features too. Luke Hayes says, is anyone else on here come to rob a bank with me so we can all go to these camps? Yeah. Yeah, man, do it. Awesome. Just gonna hop off the chat here, but yeah, big thank you. Thanks everyone for coming on to hang out. If you haven't yet and you want to become a member, hit that join button. We're gonna head over to the members only area and do another live chat. But yeah, big thank you for everyone for hopping on, everyone that liked the video, everyone for subscribing, super chats, and yeah, stoked to have had the chance to talk to you guys. We'll be on here again next Friday, same time, and I'll be in Oregon. So maybe we can do the live chat like up at Mount Hood. That'd be super fun. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys on here next Friday. Awesome. Later, guys.